From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us tonight. After a warm weekend, we are expecting some snow starting tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, but the amount we're expecting is continuing to decline. Let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. He's in the Weather Center with our first warn forecast. Gary?
Eric, we've been watching this storm all weekend, and a couple of days ago it looked like we'd get walloped with a pretty heavy snowstorm, and now the computer models have really been backing off, and what we see out actually happening in the atmosphere is lending credence to that. The live view from the WISC Skycam showing mostly cloudy skies. Now, last week at this time we were expecting at least the possibility for some snow already tonight, but the first part of the storm has pretty much missed us to the south. You can see that on radar. For the most part, it's in the form of rain south of Chicago. So the first part missing us altogether. The second part of the storm will arrive later tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night and early Wednesday, and may only bring a couple of inches of snow to far southeastern Wisconsin, maybe through parts of Rock and Jefferson County, some accumulating snow there. We do have an alert day in place just in case that snow does lead to some travel problems. The farther south and east you go, the more likely you'd run into travel problems. But otherwise, tomorrow, just look for cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of light snow south of Madison in the afternoon. High temperature at 34. The snow will be followed by some cold weather at the end of the week, but a warm-up's on the way for early next week. I'll have more details and weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. The Madison Mallard staff is just starting the process of rebuilding the gift shop that burned down in October.
It was ruled an arson, but investigators never found who started it. And Jamie Perez joins us with a look at what we can expect to see in a couple of months.
Well, right now, all that's there is basically just the framework of the building, but they said it should only take a couple of months to fully rebuild and refurnish everything that's inside. This is what's happened in just the past week.
Firefighters were called out to the stadium on Sherman Avenue just before 10 o'clock last night. They arrived to find the gift shop at the stadium on fire.
We all remember the day the Mallard Stadium gift shop went up in flames. Many of us were shocked, angry.
It hurt. I like to think or hope it was an accident of some kind. You know, at the end of the day, it's like things happen and we can either sit here and be upset about it, or we can move forward and turn it into kind of a positive.
Like the Mallard Stadium General Manager Tyler Isham, we are all looking forward to what's next.
If you've been to Mallard's games before, you see it's a really similar look and layout.
About a week ago, the Paul Davis Restoration Company started rebuilding what burnt to the ground just months ago. Even though it's not much to look at right now, just give it a few months.
So we'll have all new merchandise for 2020. We did do like a fire sale in the fall, and we may have some of those items available this spring yet for some sales that were just a little damaged by smoke.
Board by board, they'll rebuild.
We're the Mallards. We like to have fun.
And we all like thinking about the idea of a brand new gift shop to kick off the 2020 season.
We start thinking about baseball and thinking about summer and thinking about, you know, the smell of the ballpark, cold beer being poured and hot dogs being served everywhere. And this stadium will be full of 6,000 people ready to enjoy a great night.
Opening day for the Mallard season is May 26th, and they're hoping to have the gift shop done at the beginning of May, and it's going to be here before we know it.
Jamie, thank you. An officer-involved shooting investigation in Milwaukee this morning has been handed off to the Greenfield Police Department. 3 Milwaukee police shot and killed a 27-year-old man on the city's south side about 1 a.m. They were responding to a call about shots fired when they learned the suspect was still on the scene and had a gun. When police arrived, the man tried running away and confronted the officers when he was shot. Officers say the suspect's weapon was recovered at the scene. However, the man has not officially been identified.
A home on the east side was burglarized by a man posing as a water utilities employee. This happened on Saturday morning on Meredith Avenue. The man was carrying a small walkie-talkie and wearing a yellow or green construction vest. He said he had to check their water supply for a green dye and was allowed into the home. After he left, the homeowners noticed items had been stolen from their bedroom, including money.
I think we've seen this sort of thing happen before. You know, it's just a ploy to get inside your home, and we want to make sure that people understand that our employees will always show identification.
Madison water utilities say there will be instances where they will need to get into your home, but if you are unsure if it's a scam, she says all employees will have photo ID as well as a Madison water utility branded clothing and vehicles.
The Altoona superintendent of schools facing child sex trafficking and child porn charges has now been released from custody under 24-hour location monitoring as he awaits trial. Our Amanda Quintana was at his hearing this afternoon and joins us with details. Amanda?
You may remember Daniel Peggs, the Altoona superintendent was arrested last Thursday after being indicted on a sex trafficking charge and producing child pornography, all stemming from incidents in 2015 and 2016. Our cameras weren't allowed in federal court today when a judge approved a release plan for Peggs. It didn't require a paid bond, but the judge said it did include a, quote, boatload of conditions, including mandatory location monitoring, a 24/7 curfew, and no contact with minors, even his own kids, unless approved by his probation officer. The U.S. attorney handling the prosecution said Peggs will not be living at home, and he's also ordered to not use the internet or social media, including the fake profiles he's used that the government has found. The prosecution also gave a little more insight into his communication with the alleged victim, saying once she turned 18, Peggs stopped exploiting her but continued to contact her. The judge saying he doesn't expect Peggs to commit any other crimes while he's being monitored.
Madison police arrested two 14-year-old boys this morning accused of stealing a BMW and getting involved in two crashes. Officers say the car was stolen from a home on Bell Street on the south side while the owner was warming it up. The car was then involved in two hit-and-run crashes, one in a Wendy's parking lot and the other at the intersection of Odana and Gammon Road. The car was so badly damaged it wouldn't drive anymore, and it was ditched in the Westtown parking lot. The teens were arrested a short while later. New at 6, Madison police are looking to identify this man. He is accused of attacking a person and using pepper spray inside a downtown bar and restaurant. According to a police report released today, the assault took place November 30th inside Lucille on King Street. The man has been described as being 25 to 35 years old and 6 feet tall with a dark complexion. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Wisconsin U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin delivered George Washington's farewell address on the Senate floor today. Reading the speech is a tradition in the Senate to observe our first president's birthday.
That I should now apprise you of the resolution I have formed to decline being considered among the number of those out of whom a choice is to be made.
Every year since 1896, the U.S. Senate has observed his birthday by selecting one of its members, alternating parties every year, to read the 1796 statement during the legislative session. Longtime Republican State Senator Luther Olson will not seek re-election. He has represented the 14th District now for 16 years. That covers parts of 9 counties, including Dane, Columbia, Sauk, and Dodge counties. Olson turned 70 on Wednesday. Moments after he announced that decision today, Republican Representative Joan Ballweg of Markesan said she would run to replace him. Governor Tony Evers has selected the next commander of the Wisconsin National Guard. He will appoint Brigadier General Paul Knapp from Antigo. Knapp has been in the U.S. Air Force since 1992. The move follows a sexual assault scandal that led to the former commander, Major General Donald Dunbar, resigning in December.
Fire departments in small cities across the country are facing understaffing due to a lack of volunteer firefighters. The Milton Fire Department is in the midst of that shortage, but as Gabriella Becerra shares, the fire chief sees a possible solution.
Well, Chief Rhodes says he doesn't know if it's a change in society or family life structure, but it's more difficult for departments around the country to find volunteer firefighters with certified training, which is essential to staff stations like the Milton Fire Department.
Fires and emergency medical emergencies takes staff. You know, you've got to put the people on the trucks and get them there as soon as possible. So
sometimes with only 1 or 2 people responding to alarms and calls, staff is exactly what the Milton Fire Department doesn't have.
We've had calls that occurred in the Milton Fire Department's response area and didn't have anybody respond, and Janesville had to come up.
And calling the city next door for backup significantly lengthens response times.
It's not their fault. They're just not there anymore.
To run a fully staffed department, Chief Rhodes says the budget would have to increase by about $800,000. Without those funds, he says it's time to consider unifying Milton and Janesville fire departments.
You know, we have a lot of redundancy in effort and duplication. How can we merge the 2 organizations to become one really strong, effective firefighting force?
To cope with the lack of volunteer firefighters in the meantime, this department hired 1 full-time and 3 on-premise firefighters. But Rhodes doesn't see that as a sustainable solution.
And we're essentially hiring full-time career firefighter paramedics to come in on their off days and to cover the equipment in the station.
Chief Rhodes says the department is already seeing improvement with the addition of the full-time and on-premise firefighters, but says it's only enough to hold them over before the issue needs to be revisited.
Gabriella, thank you. Still to come tonight at 6. It's been a deadly year so far for Wisconsin snowmobilers. We have the latest statistics from the State Department of Natural Resources.
And there's more local news ahead tonight. We're getting updated flu numbers from the Madison area, how it compares to years past. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Find your style at Menards with 11% off Patriot Lighting.
Or you could add stylish storage with 11% off all Dakota shelving.
Insulate and save big on energy costs. Plus get 11% off.
Create your dream Clearview kitchen with 11% off.
You'll be floored by our vinyl plank flooring. Get 11% off all of it.
Whatever you're working on, you'll get 11% off. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
What makes you one of a kind?
I can ride a unicycle.
Acting's my passion. I love this.
Time to embrace your uniqueness by taking the BU Pledge. A promise to celebrate yourself and your friends for being exactly who you are. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page to sign the online pledge and enter to win cool giveaways. Come on and take the BU Pledge.
SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take part in the BU movement.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue and flambeers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Go in the snow plus MPG, your Subaru Ascent from Don Miller. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and 27 MPG highway, the Ascent will get you through in great shape. It's the roomiest Subaru ever. The Ascent has third-row seating and space for 7 or 8 passengers. The 2020 Ascent Premium, lease from only $319 a month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 due on signing. No security deposit. Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
Welcome back. The iconic rock band Tool is coming to Madison this summer. It's part of the band's spring tour, which was recently extended to include a stop at the Kohl Center June 9th. Tickets for that show go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. This winter has been a deadly one so far for snowmobilers. As of today, 17 people have died while snowmobiling in the last 7 weeks. The state DNR says alcohol was involved in 7 of those incidents, and that most of the crashes involved the driver hitting a fixed object, in most cases a tree. In all of 2019, 16 people were killed while snowmobiling in the state, so we've already surpassed that number.
The Madison School District will host the Wisconsin Education Fair in 2 weeks. The program at Madison Memorial High School will allow students to gather information about 100 different colleges and universities, both in Wisconsin and out of state. There will also be military and trade school representatives. The free event is Monday, March 9th from 5 to 8 p.m. More Americans are grappling with the idea of having one child. The one-child family is the fastest growing family unit in the United States, according to the census data. In recent decades, something has begun to shift. More Gen X and millennial women are prioritizing personal and career goals over marriage and family, and the cost of raising a child has never been higher. News 3 Now director Nicole Nelson and her husband Tim decided from the very beginning to only have one child. Their daughter Avery is 7.
She's always been really drawn to animals, like a huge animal lover, and so she's said before, like, she would rather have me have a baby guinea pig than a baby boy or girl.
We continue to fervently believe that only children might be worse off in some ways, but the research really hasn't supported that. 20 years from now.
Tonight on News 3 Now at 10, Susan Simon delves deeper into the reasons behind the only child trend. She'll also share some of the latest research on what it means to be an only child.
A story very near and dear to Susan's heart.
Yes.
It means a lot to her. We look forward to that. Still ahead tonight in sports, the Brewers are back in action for the preseason and win one in walk-off fashion. Highlights from today's televised game.
But first, our chances for snow this week continue to dwindle. Gary Canalti will have our first warn forecast coming up next.
Stanton, would you, Fergus? You don't think that Stanton's glasses are more beautiful than mine, do you?
I am going to ask you one last time.
At Stanton Optical, get 2 pair for $59.95, plus a free eye exam.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
Ish Monroe, Mark Zona, Pete Mena, Tommy Kimo, and other fishing experts will be speaking at the Wisconsin Fishing Expo, February 28th through March 1st at the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center. Same great show with a hot new look, now with even more booths. New kids fishing bingo for the first 500 kids per day. Over 300 booths, hundreds of boats priced to sell, more gear and tackle than ever. Go to wifishingexpo.com for details. Kids 12 and under free.
They look great. They're affordable. Stanton, how do you do it? Oh, nice.
Are those?
Get out!
At Stanton Optical, get 2 pair for $59.95, plus a free eye exam.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi walked into the meeting this afternoon and said not as much snow tomorrow, and I was really excited about that. It's going to kind of go south.
Right? Not everybody was quite as excited.
I was excited about it, man. I'm ready for March and spring and all that.
Like I say, I worked probably as hard this weekend behind the scenes as I did.
You're always watching. You're always
because, again, this situation changed quite a bit over just the last couple of days. But 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Dry northeasterly winds now look like it's going to push the heaviest snow to the south of southern Wisconsin. So if you don't like heavy snow, this is your forecast. We will still see some minor accumulations, mainly southeast of Madison, from tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night and perhaps early Wednesday morning, but probably just a couple of inches there. And then we're still looking for some colder weather with high temperatures in the 20s for Thursday, Friday, and probably Saturday as well. We have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow night, mainly for light snow southeast of Madison. That area could see 1 to 3 inches. We're talking about Rock and Jefferson counties especially. But again, it all depends on how much that dry air just erodes away at the snow. The first part of the weather system, remember last week we were talking about the potential for a couple of systems. First one is just missing us to the south, and it's mainly rain. Just a little bit of snow on the northern edge into the Chicago area, but that has pretty much missed southern Wisconsin. So that cuts away at some of the snow potential that we were looking at last week. Then as you take a look at future track, the next weather system just kind of sideswipes us to the south and east. So very little of the snow makes it as far north as Madison. I think areas north and west of Madison may see little or no snow at all, or just some flurries, and then that all heads off to the east. Might even see some breaks in the clouds during the day on Wednesday, but more significant clearing will arrive on Thursday. But with northerly and northwesterly winds continuing, that will keep temperatures on the cold side. So right now, probably about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall over far southeastern Wisconsin, maybe some 3 to 6 and 6 to 9 inch amounts down toward the Chicago area. At the heaviest amounts, some lake effect snows in northern Indiana and parts of southern Michigan. There are winter storm watches in effect to the Illinois state line. My feeling is that this area will probably end up in a winter winter weather advisory. If there are winter storm warnings, they'll be more likely into the Chicago area and parts of northwestern Indiana and Michigan. Already winter weather advisories have been issued for parts of western Illinois and southeastern Iowa. As far as weather track is concerned, you can see this first weather system here. The second one is this one here, but notice it's going to follow the jet stream and take a little more southerly path that'll keep us just on the northern fringes of it. As we look at the surface weather map, the first area of low pressure is down here, and a lot of rain also a part of the system. So that's also sucking up some of the moisture that really can't make it this far north as snow. So when the second weather system comes on through, eventually it'll bring some snow, but again, probably more across northern Illinois, and then eventually the two will combine into a bigger storm system out toward the east coast. But after that, look for temperatures to drop below normal for a few days. High temperatures will be in the mid-20s for the end of next week. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of light snow in the afternoon south of Madison. Most areas will stay dry, high temperature at 34. And again, the best chances for accumulating snow, far southeastern Wisconsin, about 1 to 3 inches south and east of, say, Janesville and Jefferson. 7 to 10 day forecast. We got that alert day in the forecast for Tuesday, but then quiet weather with cold weather at the end of next week. A warm up with some rain for the early part of next week, and temperatures staying in the 30s at the end of next week.
Well, the Badgers getting hot at the right time. So what's the rest of the season looking like? We'll show you the big picture next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Okay then, why do professional builders and remodelers choose Nuns? Appears to be reason number 307, which must be that folks really appreciate the expert help of a Nuns designer. Oh. And at the big box store, expert help might not be available. So why should you choose Nuns? Yeah, isn't it obvious? Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
At Papa Murphy's, $10 Tuesday is about to be your new favorite day of the week. Every Tuesday, get any large pizza or build your own with up to 5 toppings for just $10. Tuesdays will never be the same. We make it, you make it. Papa Murphy's.
Welcome to Unity Point Health. It's a more attention, all questions answered, we see it from your perspective kind of care. It's a hello rather than a next. It's a I can't believe they did that for me moment in their life. It's the power of healthy relationships. People are amazing. We're here to help keep them that way. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Choosing a window replacement company is tough. We asked our customers why they love their new Champion windows.
Working with Champion was such a great experience that they've made our home much more comfortable now.
We have saved 25 to 30% on our energy bill since installing the windows, which blew my mind.
Right now, Champion Comfort 365 windows are buy 2, get 1 free. Plus, buy now and pay nothing for a year.
I love my new Champion windows.
Let Champion help you fall in love with your home. Book your free in-home consultation online or call 888-930-CHAMPION today.
We're here at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Tom, people are loving this place.
They sure are, Jerry. Let's go see who Tina's chatting with now.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we have some beautiful ladies joining us. What are you up to tonight, girls?
Girls' night.
We're getting some drinks.
I want to win that car.
Sounds great. Are you feeling lucky? What's your favorite slot machine? Oh, to you guys.
Looks like those ladies are on a mission.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Gaming Madison.
When we hear a big storm's headed our way, some of us fall back into bed, some into fresh powder. Spending your day indoors or out, it's all about knowing what to expect. Watch News 3 Now for an accurate first warn forecast so you can plan your perfect day.
Well, it is not often that college Football players retire from the game, so when they do, it's got to be serious. Tight end Luke Benchell calling it a career with the Badgers after undergoing a 4th procedure on his knee. He played in 15 games at tight end, mostly blocking, and comes from a family of Badgers. Dad and older brother Ben played at Wisconsin, and his younger brother is a member of the 2021 recruiting class. Well, there's zero doubt that the Big Ten is the strongest conference in college basketball right now. But where there's some doubt, who's going to be the best within the Big Ten? Because it's kind of just one big hot mess, especially up top. Check out the latest standings here. Maryland can't get too comfortable in first place because right behind the Terrapins, a 4-way tie for 2nd place. And Illinois could make it a 5-way tie. The Fighting Illini host Nebraska tonight. Now, everyone has either 3 or 4 games left in the regular season, so buckle up. The Badgers seem to be getting hot at the right time, riding a win streak that improved to 4 games yesterday. And on top of that, 3rd game in a row where 4 players have scored in double digits. Now, Wisconsin has 4 games left, and they'll get a second chance at Minnesota, hoping to get that same grade, as Greg Gard calls it, that they did against Rutgers, part 2.
Coach Gard's big on telling us about, retake tests. So, we failed the first test. Now we get a chance to do it again and get to improve on what we got wrong. So a lot of that is, understanding what we went through in film, what he said that we messed up on, and then taking action on it to, circle the wagons, maybe, whatever you want to say, but execute the game plan better.
Anybody can knock down a shot at any time, and I think the guys are ready for that. I think we prepare well for those situations, and we trust to put the ball in the right person's hands, and they have the confidence to knock down those shots.
And yesterday, the Bucks became the first team in 15 years to snag a playoff spot that early after the Bulls beat the Wizards. And the Bucks will get to thank the Wizards in person for losing. They're in D.C. tonight. The Bucks on pace to win 70 games with a 48-8 record right now. The last team to win in at least 70 games, the Warriors won 73 in 2015 and 2016. Split squad day for the Brewers. Signs of spring here, the sausage race. Brandon Woodruff getting the start in the home game in Maryvale. We pick it up in the 8th inning. Crew down 1-0. Chad Spanberger, back-to-back games with home runs, tied it up. Bottom of the 9th now, the least interesting play in baseball, a walk-off walk. But the Brewers will take it 2-1, the final score. Kind of the opposite at the other game, couldn't get enough runs against the Oakland A's. Orlando Arcia among the players with home runs. And truly, finally tonight, there aren't any words accurate or emotional enough to describe the memorial for Kobe and Gianna Bryant in Los Angeles today. Aside from the basketball royalty that spoke, Michael Jordan, Shaq, Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionesco, the most moving moment had to be seeing Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife and Gianna's mother, had the incomprehensible strength and courage to share her memories and grieve with the hundreds of fans that were in attendance earlier today. Really, I don't know how she did that.
It was amazing.
Oh, I just don't know how she did that, but really just portraying all kinds of strength and grace.
Absolutely.
With every single memory that she shared.
And all of the basketball world behind her, supporting really all the sports world. Pretty touching moment today there at the Staples Center. Michael Jordan as well. Final check with Gary Canalti as we look at those numbers for what's coming in tomorrow, too.
Well, things very quiet in the short term. The cloud cover keeping temperatures up, so we'll only drop a few degrees into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, look for cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of light snow south of Madison in the afternoon, high 34. But right now, it looks like the best chances for accumulating snow will stay over far southeastern Wisconsin, down into northern Illinois, maybe some 3 to 6 inch totals toward the Chicago area, 1 to 3 inches toward Janesville, maybe south of Jefferson, over toward Fort Atkinson. The 7 to 10-day forecast, we do have an alert day for that snow chance tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and then colder for the end of the week before warm next week.
All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.